Hi, hello, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Whips and Whimsy podcast. Yay! My name is Zenith. My pronouns are they, them. This is my YouTube channel where we talk about knitting and crafting and life and stuff. If that is something that you are interested in, stay tuned. This is probably going to be a chattier, longer episode. So grab a drink, grab something to snack on, grab something to work on. Let's get into it. How have you been? It's been 2 weeks since we last talked. I don't know if I mentioned this, but today is Saturday, June 7th. I did not record last week because I did not get anything done. The last time we talked, it was Memorial Day weekend. And I sat here very confidently and I said, I have a 3-day weekend. I have 3 days on at my job, and then I have another 3-day weekend. I'm going to get all of the things done. And my brain said, that's cute. And I stayed in bed for 3 days straight, just not doing anything and being like non-functional, like don't need to eat food, don't need to do anything. It was incredibly relaxing, but I had nothing done. So when I went to think about filming last weekend, I was like, I have half a sock and I have one pig, and that's not an episode. So I was like, I'm not gonna do it. But then I am on deadline. If you've been following my channel, you know I have a barter going with a friend of mine named Jen. And I think I'm going to title this episode the Jen episode. Because all I have been working on is things for Jen, because she is going to arrive on Tuesday and she is leaving on Saturday. So I have until Saturday to get everything done for her that I need to have done for her immediately. And I would like to have it all done. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I will not. But yeah, I've just been like, oh no, and like knitting all of the things, which I will show you. Anyway, I hope that you are doing well. Final thing, my allergies are insane. So if I sound really hoarse, it's because I am. If there's a lot of cuts in this, it's because I needed to start coughing or like drinking some fluid or something. Like I feel gross. So I apologize in advance if this video is a little bit choppy. I do cut out when I'm like being a little allergic mess to the world. So with that, let's get going into the pig parade. But actually, we're gonna do a segue. Speaking of life things, last weekend I hung out with a friend of mine named Delia, who is also a knitter, and I brought her one of my little pigs, and she had brought one of her recent projects to show me. I'm gonna put it on the screen. It's from like a meme video. It's Poisson Steve. And I was like, here's a pig for you. And she was like, look at the fish. They're friends now. And I was like, oh my God. Delia is incredible. And she is so much more talented of a knitter than I am. The things she makes are so detailed. She's the kind of person who's like, I'm going to knit a sweater on size 1 needles. And I'm like, I'm going to stop you at sweater. Like, let alone size 1. Like, I'm going to stop you right there. I love her so much. She's so cool. And so because I made her a pig, she made me a rain frog. Look at this baby. Look at this thing. Look at this goth little rain frog. It has a little butt. You totally can't see that on screen. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to angle it. Yeah, you know, you can see. It has a little butt. I love this thing. So this is an honorary part of today's pig parade that she made me this rain frog. I know she's talked about this pattern. I don't know if it's something that you can buy on Ravelry. I will have to check and see. I think she like edited a pattern from someone else. I don't think she free drafted it. I could be wrong. Don't listen to me. But yeah, I have creepy little rain frog now. I love it. I love it so much. So good. And that brings us into the pig parade proper. If you are new here, hello, welcome. One of the things I do for stress relief is I knit a tiny pig the size of 2 cotton balls when I get home from work as a form of stress relief on days where I don't have too much going on. So I don't make one every single day, but I do make one most days. And I have a whole damn rainbow today. Look at these little guys. Look at these little babies and their little butts. And oh, they're so cute. One of the great things about hanging out with Delia is we were talking about palette yarn and how I went and bought palette yarn in like every color and was like, I'm gonna make pigs with these. And so I have probably like 20 balls of palette, and I hadn't opened any of them because I was like, well, I don't want to open a whole ball of yarn and then use like, 20 yards worth to make these tiny little pigs. And, they're all just sitting there for me to like look at them, and I'm not doing anything with them. And she was showing me like she makes tons of frogs. Delia's cool. She makes all these little frogs. And she was showing me all these like random ones that she had in her bag. And she had like a little bunny and stuff. And they were all like, not all of the yarn, but a lot of the yarn was palette. And it was like these tiny little intricate pieces. And I was just like looking at them and I'm like, okay, I should open the palette. So I have 3 different ones that are just palette. They're just palette. I'm cracking into them and I'm having a great time doing that. So yes. We also have on the Pig Parade our honorary guest. I have 2 new chili peppers, and I also have a new way of storing the chili peppers because just keeping them on a string, they were getting all sorts of like messed up and whatever. So I use this to wind yarn, but if I have to hand wind stuff, but I don't hand wind stuff anymore. So I was like, I'm just gonna wind my chili peppers on there. And then not have to like deal with them getting all knotted and whatever. But I have, yes, 2 new ones on my chili pepper string for the 2 pairs of socks that I have finished. Let me rewrap this. And that is the Pig Parade for the week. Which brings us to finished objects. And I have 2. One of them I did not make during this time frame. I'm just going to mention it because this is the Jen episode. This is the episode where I am trying to complete my part of the barter, which I totally don't have to have done by next week. I just want to have it done so that I don't have to pay for shipping for stuff because I'm lazy. And so the barter is my friend Jen is knitting me a sweater. She's knitting me a V-neck boxy in Stroll Forest is the color. And I am making her a hat and 4 pairs of socks. And I already had a pair of socks in her shoe size. And I had made them last October for someone else. And as is the way of things, I don't really hang out with that person anymore. I don't know when I will see this person again. Like, nothing's wrong. It's not like a drama or anything. It's just kind of like, yeah, you do live in like an hour away. And it is like a whole lot of like back and forth to like see each other, and like we're just not as close as I thought we were going to be when I made socks. And so I'm like, I just have these and I'm tired of looking at them. So I'm going to give them to Jen instead. So this is the first completed object that is going to Jen. This is Knit Picks. I don't remember if it's Static or Stroll. And I think the colorway is like either Nevermore or the Raven. I have both. I made them last October. I don't remember. I love them. I love them so much. So that's that pair is going to Jen. So that's the first object done. The second object done is my potato socks. I love these. They're so good. I should mention my standard sock recipe is 10 rounds of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff. I do 56 stitches, size 1 needles, flexi flips. I do 30 rounds for the leg. I do a standard slip stitch heel. I do however many rounds I need for the foot. And then I do a square toe. My knitting gauge for socks is pretty loose because I use flexi flips. I do all my socks inside out. I purl instead of knit for my stockinette because I Portuguese knit, which is why I have this cool little necklace that you can't see unless I sit back, apparently. Anyway, I love these. This yarn is a yarn set from Tiny Human Knits. The colorway is Potatoes. This is from when they did Lord of the Rings, which was maybe 2 years ago or so. I have this color in my own stash, and that's pretty exciting. So I love these socks. I love the way they've knitted up. And they're a good time. So on to works in progress. Yes. Works in progress. I have 2. The first one is a pair of socks. It is within this bag, which is also from Tiny Human Knits. This is from their Goldenrod, I think was the name of it. So let's see here. The last time you saw this pair of socks, we were here. we were 4 rows in to this pair of socks, and this sock is now done. Also, thank you for everyone who commented on the heel color. The gold is perfect. My only hesitation was that the stellina is silver, and I was like, I don't know how it's gonna look with gold, and the answer is it looks fantastic. Like, no notes, 10 out of 10. I finished this sock last night, and I cast on the next one. So we are here. I would like, my goal for the weekend is, I have 3 more socks. Yes, 3 more socks, not pairs, individual socks that I need to get done. And my goal is to get through the gusset on all 3 of them by tomorrow night. And that might be a whole lot. We'll see. I might be setting unreasonable goals, and that's okay. But I would like to be through the gusset so I can just do like just go nuts on stockinette for the next week. That's what I would like to do. But right now I am just in the leg, so I will be prioritizing getting through the gusset on this one, and then I will deal with the next pair of socks, which I will show you the yarn for in a hot second. My main priority, my top priority, my number one is to finish my Musselburgh. So last time we saw it, we were here, and we've made some progress on it. This came to work with me all week. One of the things I have learned in making this is that I don't like working with alpaca yarn. Oh, I should mention, this is the Musselburgh pattern by Ysolda Teague. It's a paid for pattern. I've made a whole bunch of them, and every time I make one, I'm like, I don't love this. And every time I finish, I forget that I don't love this. And then I cast on another one. I'm like, this is so much knitting, and I could have made a beanie. Why? So yes, I'm remembering that I don't love Musselburghs, because if I was making a normal beanie, I would be done by now. And like, that's it. That's the only reason. And also, I don't love alpaca. This is 80% alpaca, 20% silk. And I don't think I'm allergic to it, but I think mentally I'm just like, I feel itchy because it's not wool. And so then I'm like, I don't like working with it, because I want it to be wool, because I almost exclusively work with wool yarn. So that's where we are with that. This is, I should mention, Bewitched Pigments, The Witch's Heart. My friend Jen is actually Genevieve Gornichek, the author of The Witch's Heart, which is what this yarn is based off of. The Witch's Heart, by the way, fantastic book. It goes through, I feel like I've recommended this book like 3 times, and I haven't told literally anyone what it's about. I'm just like, read it. It is a kind of Viking era. I don't want to say it's historical fantasy, because it's more of like, it has to do with the myths. It has to do with like Loki, Angrboda, and Skadi, and you know, all of that kind of situation. But it's really good. It tells a story of, you know, the monstrous children of Loki, and of course their mother, who the giantess Angrboda, and whose name I'm probably pronouncing because I am very bad at Norse pronunciations. It's incredible. It made me cry. I used to do Viking reenacting, and like the amount of detail that's in there of like how people actually lived like 1,000 years ago, exquisite. It's so well done. It has a lot of attention to like fiber crafts and fiber details, which is super cool, specifically weaving. Really, 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 really recommend it. Yeah. So if you're looking for something to read, The Witch's Heart, you should read it. And this is the yarn that goes with it from Bewitched Pigments. So yeah, I need to get this done. I think what I'm going to do is what works for me best, because I have like carpal tunnel and stuff. I set 30-minute timers, and then I knit, and then I stop, and then I stretch, and then I knit for another 30 minutes. So my plan for this weekend is to do 30-minute timers, 30 minutes of hat, 30 minutes of sock. And when I get through the gusset on this one, I'm going to cast on the next pair, get through the gusset on that, cast on the next one. I'm going to pull from both ends of the ball of yarn, which is not my favorite thing to do, but it'll work. It'll be fine. I'm not concerned. And I'm just going to crank through. We're just going to knit all weekend. That's what we're doing. No plans. Until tomorrow I have D&D, but that's fine because I knit at D&D. I just need a sock that's through the gusset and I can take it with me. Yeah, that's my plan. But I want to get this done. I don't love working on it because I don't love muscleworks. Which is funny because it's just stockinette, so it should be as enjoyable as socks. And I'm like, no, I'm not used to this size of needle anymore. I work on socks. So anyway, that is all told, that is 4 projects. So that is 2 completed pairs of socks. I have the other pair of socks partially done. I have the musclework, that's 4. So the 5th pair of socks, I have chosen this. This is going to be the heel color, and this is going to be the main color. And because I'm on deadline, I'm going to, I think, do the Rose City Rollers pattern rather than my main pattern. The Rose City Rollers pattern, you literally just cast on and you just start knitting stockinette. And when it like rolls enough, you just put a heel on it and go. So when I do that, I usually just do 20 rounds and then put the heel on it. So it takes like an hour, hour and a half off of how long it takes me to do a sock if I do a Rose City Roller compared to my standard. I don't love them as much because it kind of like limits like what shoes you can wear them with because they are very short, but they're also a little bit bulky. But I think they're gonna be fine. I think this is gonna be fine. I'm really excited for this color. This is also like, it's a Rainbow Revolution, and like if I don't knit this in June for Pride Month, by the way, happy Pride Month. We here, we queer. Happy Pride. If I don't knit this in Pride Month, what am I doing? And this color just looks like it should go with it. So I'm excited to wind this up and knit it. I will be winding this like probably as this video is uploading, because for some reason when I upload videos to YouTube, it takes like 2 hours. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wind my yarn, like clean my room, do more knitting. Anyway, I have one final thing to show, and it is an acquisition. It is not yarn. It is not yarn. But what it is a massage gun. I saw someone at my gym using this, and I was like, what is that? And I used it a little bit just like on like a random part of my arm or something, and I was like, oh my god, this feels amazing. And then I realized I could probably use it on my forearms for carpal tunnel. Because I am in a flare-up. Because of course I am. I've done like last Saturday, I had not cast on the second sock here. And I also like was 4 rows into the other sock that I had finished. And I also like was like 6 inches down on my muscleberg. We've done a lot of knitting. There's a reason my arms are like, please stop. And I'm like, we're not stopping. Like, we're going to do like a 10-hour knitting day today and tomorrow. So I have a massage gun. Am I doing irresponsible things with my arms? Maybe. Maybe a lot, yeah. But I have a massage gun. I'm very excited about it. I will be very strictly keeping my 30-minute timers today and stopping when they are done and stretching and doing what I need to do. Anyway, that brings us into lifey stuff. What lifey stuff do I have to tell you? I've been doing an 8-week transformation challenge at my gym, and that ends next week. So I have to do like my final weigh-in and like my before and after pictures and whatever. I skipped my last weigh-in. I skipped my last weigh-in, so I don't know how I'm doing. I don't like weigh-ins. My gym does the in-body scans, which tells you like this is how much of your weight is water, this is how much of your weight is like muscle, this is how much is fat. But there's a whole lot of different like aspects that go into like how they measure it, depending on like how well rested you are, how hydrated you are, where you are on your period, for example. And I had an IUD put in literally the first week of the transformation challenge, which means that like my cycles are like, there is no cycle right now. It's just kind of like whatever it feels like doing for at any point in the day. And because of that, my scans have just been like all over the damn place for the whole thing. And I'm like, I hate this. Like, I do not like this because I've been putting in a lot of work. I've been going to the gym like 7 days a week, and I want my results to reflect that I've been going to the gym 7 days a week and that I've made significant gains on all of the exercises I've been doing and like going up in weight on all of them, and like getting better form on all of them, and like having a better endurance on stuff. And then it's like, you got fat. And I'm like, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, like, go away. So I don't know how it's gonna go. I am more excited for the before after pictures because I feel like I can see like the changes. Like I'm like, oh, like my shoulders look stronger than they did 8 weeks ago. Like that's for sure. My arms like look like much stronger than they did 8 weeks ago. I can flex. The camera's too high, so I'm not gonna do it. But like I can flex and like my left tricep will pop now, and I'm like, which has never happened in my life. And I'm like, look at that. Look at that tricep. Just the dumbest thing ever, but also makes me incredibly happy. I can't do it on my right arm. I don't know how to flex. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I don't know. I'm excited for that to happen. I'm excited also for that to just be over. I was going to the gym 7 days a week because I was like in kind of a depressive funk. And I have balanced out enough that I no longer need to go 7 days a week. So I'm very excited to go back to having like push day, pull day, leg day, like maybe a stair climber day. Probably not because I can't last more than 3 minutes on the stair climber. Yeah, so that's my gym stuff. As far as other lifey things, let's see. I am still reading Asada, which is an autobiography of Asada Shakur. I like it. It's very much reading outside of my comfort zone. It's not. I feel like when I talk about this book, I want it to be like illuminating and be like, oh my god, I didn't know these things. No, I knew them, but it's very like confirming, I guess, in terms of like, yeah, no, this is how the world is. Okay, got it. Should do something about that. So I'm really, and I feel like enjoying is not the right word, but I am like having a good intellectually stimulating time reading Asada. So I'm reading that. I watched Solo last week. A lot of the people I talked to did not like Solo. Hold on, coffee break. Tangent, I decided I wanted to start drinking black coffee because I feel like it's intimidating. And it's not bad. I put a lot of sweetener in it though. Anyway, Solo. I feel like I talked to a lot of people who were like, this is not a good movie and like you can take it or leave it, whatever. And I watched it. I think it's great. I would watch it again. I think it's incredible. I love it. It does not follow the standard heroes arc in a way that I think a lot of people are upset at, but don't know how to express that they are upset about. And I think that's lovely, that it's just kind of inverting that trope of like what a hero arc looks like in movies. So yes, really enjoying that. I also have 2 episodes left in Ahsoka. I figured out why I don't like Ahsoka, and it's because I don't know what's going on. And I should have watched. I needed to watch like 3 other series before I watched Ahsoka. So I have 2 episodes left. I have been told by people within the Star Wars fandom that I should maybe put a pause on those and go watch. There's 3 different things I need to watch before I watch Ahsoka. I don't know. I plan to start watching Rebels, but I'm not feeling like I'm in a TV mood. I feel like I'm in a like YouTube ambient tracks and YouTube watch later vibe for this weekend. So I think I'm going to do that instead, and I'll pick up Rebels at some point. And listening right now, I'm listening to a playlist on Spotify called 90s New Age, made by some guy named Thomas. And it's so stupid. It's just like Anya and Deep Forest and Enigma and Lorena McKenna. And I'm having a great time with that. Thank you. Anyway, I think that is all I've got. I think that is all I have for this episode. Upcoming for next week. So I'm taking a vacation from work for a couple days when Jen is in town. We'll be playing tourist, going to all the things, seeing how many bakeries we can go to in the span of like 3 days. And doing lots of knitting, lots of crafting. I don't know what I will have to show for the podcast next week, because if everything goes according to plan, I will have 2 completed pairs of socks, but neither of them will be with me. They will be in Ohio. So there's that. Actually, 3 objects. I'll have 3 finished objects. All of them will not be with me if all goes well. But I will say next week, I've been looking at my basket of things left to knit, And I'm just going to do like a full reset of what's in there, make some new spinners for projects, and go from there. I have some knit-alongs I've joined. One of them is by, I forget the designer's name. Her name on Instagram is Alendria Knits. I will put her actual name below. She is doing a knit-along that is points-based for the summer. It's socks, but you get like extra points for doing certain things. So like it's like you get, if you do like a different cuff or a different heel style, if you do toe up when you usually knit cuff down, if you knit cuff down when you usually knit toe up, you get extra points. If you use one of her patterns, you get extra points. If you knit something that's difficult for you to do, you get extra points. And I if you've watched the channel, you know I knit vanilla socks. Like that's my vibe. But I'm feeling incredibly inspired in this knit along to like do some color work, do some techniques that are new to me, and do some techniques I usually avoid because I want to just like clock out and do stockinette. So I think when I start knitting some new socks, I'm gonna do some patterns and I'm gonna do some cables and I'm gonna do just some different things and switch it up from my vanilla. So we'll see how that goes. So you have that to look forward to. I should be able to post next Saturday around the usual time, so don't fret about that. Unless something, unless there's a sign from God, in which case, what are you gonna do? But that is what I've got. I hope you all have a fantastic, whimsical week, and I will see you next time. Bye!